Regard is like a brilliant ticket in life. It's something everybody needs, but not everybody gets. Winning regard isn't almost being the loudest in the room or continuously attempting to demonstrate you're the best. It's way more than that. Whereas there are numerous ways to gain regard, Sigma guys have one of the most compelling and inconspicuous strategies to win people's regard. It's not around playing recreations or controlling others, but around a few straightforward but capable ways these men utilize to right away gain regard. Here are 10 of them. Number 1. They continuously keep their guarantees. It's not around fantastic signals or over-the-top commitments. It's fair, almost those little regular guarantees that Sigma guys make beyond any doubt to fulfill. If they tell their companion they will offer assistance then move on Saturday, they appear up on Saturday prepared to lift boxes. It's that basic. It demonstrates they appreciate people's time and believe, which makes others regard them indeed more. When somebody takes after through on their word, it illustrates unwavering quality and astuteness in a world where it's simple to make guarantees and not so simple to keep them. Being somebody who does can truly set you separated. It's a direct approach, however, so compelling. Individuals start to see you as somebody they can depend on, reliable and reliable. It gains you regard without having to inquire for it. And that's the genuine trap, fair doing what you promised. Number 2, they say what they cruel and cruel what they say. Genuineness and straightforwardness go a long way. Sigma guys do not beat around the bush when they talk. You can wager it's something worth tuning in to, since they're not fair filling the discuss with sit out of gear chatter. They're the sort who think sometime recently they talk, guaranteeing that their words adjust with their convictions and activities. This kind of keenness is getting to be progressively uncommon, making individuals sit up and pay consideration. It's not almost being limit or cruel, it's the inverse. They're conscious and chivalrous, but won't tell you something fair since you need to listen it. They'll deliver you the genuine truth, but in an astute, and in some cases indeed eye-opening way. And here's the thing. Individuals regard this. We all know where we stand with somebody like that, which is reviving in a world full of half-truths and maybes. It's not fair approximately talking a great amusement. It's almost backing it up with activities that reflect those words. This arrangement of activities and words builds belief, and normally gains regard without appearing to attempt as well hard. Number 3, they lead discreetly. When in charge, driving unobtrusively is one of those underrated aptitudes that truly makes individuals sit up and take note. It's all approximately getting things done without causing a huge scene or requesting consideration. Whereas alpha guys are known for their boisterous and prevailing authority fashion, Sigma guys incline toward a more unpretentious approach. They do not require to report their specialist. They fair appear it through their activities and comes about. They like to work behind the scenes, working tirelessly to get things done successfully and productively. They are not those who shout the loudest, but those who rouse and engage others discreetly. This approach gains them buckets of regard, since it appears certainty and competence without requiring a highlight. You won't see them gloating approximately their achievements or bragging almost their position. They let their work talk for itself, and that's where the genuine regard lies. In activities, not words. Individuals regard pioneers who provide them space to develop and contribute, whereas still directing the transport toward its goal. It's a just that's difficult to accomplish, but inconceivably viable when done right. This kind of authority doesn't fair command regard. It normally draws in it. Number 4, they do the right thing. Have you ever had a minute when you had to select between the simple way and the right way? Sigma guys frequently discover themselves at these intersections, but incline towards doing what's right. Indeed, when it's not the most effortless choice. It might cruel talking up against something they know is off base, or taking responsibility for their botches. By reliably doing the right thing, indeed when it's not well known or helpful, Sigma guys appear a solid sense of profound quality and astuteness. How numerous times have you needed to say or do the right thing, but were as well frightened of what others might think? And at that point, all of a sudden somebody does it, and you can't offer assistance but regard them for it. You might instantly back them up, or indeed take a mental note to be more like them. That's the control of doing the right thing. It's like moment regard focuses, indeed from those who might not have looked twice at you before. Number 5, they concede when they're off base. You know those individuals who can appear to concede when they're off base, like their inner self is so huge it won't permit them to indeed consider the plausibility they made a botch? Well, Sigma guys are the total inverse, and it's one of the reasons they're so regarded. They have no issue conceding when they're off base, indeed if it implies apologizing or making changes. Everybody makes botches, and owning up to them doesn't make you frail or maybe appears quality and lowliness. It's a characteristic that individuals appreciate since it takes mettle and self-awareness to concede when you're off base. Whereas others might attempt to cover up their botches or move the fault onto somebody else to show up culminate. These people point the finger at themselves and take obligation. But this trustworthiness is what sets Sigma guys separated. It's not around being self-deprecating or putting themselves down. It's almost recognizing a botch, learning from it, and moving on. This kind of demeanor not as it were gains regard but too builds trust. Number 6, they do not overcompensate for consideration. Not at all like those continually looking for the highlight with showy activities or boisterous gloats. Sigma guys take a diverse course. One that's less around pulling in us and more approximately disapproving their possessed commerce. They do not feel the require to overcompensate for consideration. You won't capture them attempting as well difficult to be taken note or battling to be the center of consideration. They unobtrusively go around their trade, centering on what things to them without requiring approval from others. This is not to say that they do not appreciate acknowledgement or laud. They do, but it's not something they require to flourish. They are self-motivated and driven by their claim inner sense of reason, not the outside endorsement of others. They demonstrate that you do not require to yell to be listened. A sure whisper frequently carries assist. Regard is earned not by how much clamor you make, but by the quality of your activities and the earnestness behind your words. Number 7, they get at individuals naturally. Whereas most individuals depend on verbal communication to get at others, Sigma guys take it one step assist. It's like they have a sixth sense that catches what others are feeling and considering without trading words. They're not psychics, but they pay consideration to the little subtle elements. The tone of voice, the short-lived expressions, and indeed the implied words hanging in the discuss. This skill for getting into others' shoes not as it were makes a difference them get at individuals way better, but moreover avoids potential issues or clashes early on. They can spot fake individuals and controllers from a mile absent, making it difficult to control or rule a Sigma. Whereas this ability may appear strange to a few, it's one of the reasons indeed the most troublesome individuals regard Sigma guys.